Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into something pretty complex, chaotic, and highly polarizing. We're going to impartially dissect a piece of incredibly charged internet commentary to really understand its core arguments, its structure, and the underlying mechanics making it tick. Now, to be absolutely clear right up front, we are not endorsing any of the viewpoints presented in the source material. Instead, we're taking a step back. We want to analyze exactly how modern digital creators weave together volatile politics, internet culture, and alternative monetization to build an audience. So let's look at the anatomy of a viral controversy.
Okay, let's dive into this and map out where we're going. First up, the movie catalyst. Then, real-world allegations, followed by the digital culture war, high-profile amplification, and finally, creator monetization. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The movie catalyst.
You know, every viral controversy needs that spark, an inciting incident. Here, our creator anchors their entire broadcast around a film called Citizen Vigilante. From the very beginning, they frame the plot in blunt, aggressive terms, simply describing it as a movie about a guy hunting down rapists. By establishing this premise right out of the gate, the creator instantly sets a combative tone. They're basically daring critics to argue against the seemingly straightforward concept of punishing criminals, which serves as the foundation for the rest of their commentary.
Now, this film didn't just exist in a vacuum. It was a massive cultural lightning rod. I mean, it faced outright bans in countries like Germany and England. But here's the crazy part. Despite being censored, or maybe because of it, it actually shot straight to the #1 movie spot on Apple. And there's this bizarre layer of irony the creator points out. The lead actor, Armie Hammer, the guy playing the vigilante taking out rapists, was himself previously under real-life investigation for rape. That's a massive contradiction that the creator's critics absolutely jumped on.
Moving on to Section 2, Real-World Allegations.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the creator structures their argument. They don't just sit and linger on any single event. Instead, they hit you with this rapid-fire string of specific international incidents. We're talking a youth facility in Germany, a mosque fire in Dublin, and horrific crimes across England, Scotland, Surrey, and Manhattan. By literally overwhelming the viewer with this dense compilation of global events, they're trying to validate the whole premise of that vigilante movie, totally blurring the lines between cinematic fiction and very real-world anxieties.
And to really cement this narrative, the creator explicitly points to data. They claim there's this direct visual correlation between immigration graphs and sexual assault graphs in Germany. They kind of sarcastically brush it off as a funny coincidence, but the intent is crystal clear, right? They're using these hyper-specific geographic examples to push a very volatile, highly politically charged claim about European immigration policies and rising crime rates.
All right, Section 3. The digital culture war.
So, to understand how this creator handles their haters, we gotta look at the internet slang they deploy. They lean really heavily into a concept called the dead internet theory. Basically, when an opposing account, say one named Red Pill Media with an America First banner, criticizes the movie, the creator just totally dismisses them. They claim these aren't even real Western critics. Instead, they call them, quote, Pakistanis LARPing or role-playing as white Christians. It's a calculated tactic to just instantly invalidate any counter-arguments by attacking the authenticity of whoever's delivering the message.
When you actually look at the core arguments side by side, the polarization is just stark. On one hand, you have the creator rigidly defending the movie as a straightforward story about a vigilante stopping gang rapists. Period. But on the other hand, various online factions are pushing back with some incredibly extreme rhetoric. They're labeling the film a hate psyop and spreading narratives that it's actually Jewish or Zionist propaganda engineered to generate hatred against Muslims. The whole commentary essentially devolves into this intense battleground of absolute extremes. The source material highlights some really specific counterclaims made by these detractors, including the accusation that the film is goy slop, meant to conveniently distract the public from the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. And how does the creator react? Well, they mock the critics. They actually compare the very grim fact that Epstein's youngest victim was 14 to historical claims about religious figures within the critic's own faith. It is an intensely harsh, combative exchange. Both sides are basically weaponizing horrific real-world crimes just to score cheap points online.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how modern online warfare operates today. The detractors didn't just tweet their anger. According to the source, they actually used AI to generate a totally new, alternative version of the movie. Instead of a vigilante going after migrants at the quote-unquote bottom of society, this AI film flips the script so the vigilante targets the top.
specifically Jewish elites. It just goes to show how incredibly fast generative AI is being weaponized in these digital culture wars to counter narratives in real time. It's a pretty stark reminder of why we constantly have to question the media popping up in our feeds.
Which brings us to Section 4, High-Profile Amplification.
If you look at the timeline of this controversy, it reveals a massive escalation. It all started with the film getting banned by governments in Germany and England. But then, Elon Musk directly intervened. He completely bypassed those bans by posting the full movie on X for free. By platforming the film to his massive audience, Musk blew the controversy wide open. And then, wild as it sounds, the discourse abruptly shifted gears, spiraling straight into geopolitical arguments about Musk's role as an advisor and his influence on foreign aid.
The creator tracks the immediate, highly polarized reaction to Musk jumping in. Obviously, his supporters showered him with praise, celebrating him for championing free speech and bypassing government censorship. But the flip side? The backlash was jarringly specific and heavily geopolitical. Detractors suddenly pivoted to attacking Musk over reports of cuts to U.S. aid. Critics allege that this directly resulted in a 10-year-old in South Sudan losing access to HIV medication. The creator uses this exact pivot to highlight the bizarre, completely disjointed nature of online arguments today. I mean, think about it. A debate about a fictional Vigilante movie abruptly morphs into a heated, very real argument about African health infrastructure. It's wild.
Finally, Section 5, Creator Monetization. So this brings us to the million-dollar question, sometimes quite literally. We've just walked through some incredibly intense rhetoric, right? We're talking terrorism, gang rape, religious conflict, geopolitical aid. Content this inflammatory is almost instantly flagged and demonetized by major platforms like YouTube. So how exactly does a creator survive, let alone profit, in this kind of ecosystem?
Well, the answer comes through a seriously abrupt pivot. Smack in the middle of this heavy, intense political rant about crime and censorship, the creator seamlessly transitions into a sponsored ad read for an app called Free Cash, and they boast that this platform has paid out over $250 million to 60 million users. That's a staggering number. The sheer scale of the money involved really highlights the bizarre reality of the internet, where commentary on the collapse of Western civilization is literally brought to you by a mobile gaming app.
The creator enthusiastically walks their viewers through the exact steps. Play mobile games like Call to Dragons, complete some surveys on your phone, and boom, get instant payouts to your PayPal or Visa. The juxtaposition is honestly jarring. One minute you're absorbing these dire warnings about international crime rings, and the very next minute you're being cheerfully told how to turn your bathroom break into cash by playing a strategy building game.
Now, this sponsorship is a necessity, and the creator actually explicitly acknowledges that. They air their grievances right to the audience, stating point blank that they are fully demonetized and no longer make a dime through YouTube's traditional ad revenue program. Being transparent about platform censorship is a huge part of how they build their relationship with their audience. It frames the creator as this renegade truth-teller operating completely outside the mainstream system. To get around YouTube's restrictions, this creator has built a pretty robust, alternative monetization funnel. They actively push their viewers to fund them directly over on Patreon. They migrate their audience to platforms with much looser content guidelines, like Kick, where they stream daily. And they constantly solicit direct action through affiliate links, making sure to note that every single sign-up directly supports the channel's survival.
So, the crucial point here is exactly how this financial reality is pitched to the viewer. The creator doesn't frame their demonetization as a failure. Not at all. They frame it as a total badge of honor. They tell their audience that they were demonetized for telling, quote, a little too much truth. It's a brilliant tactic, honestly. It weaponizes their lack of mainstream monetization, transforms it into absolute proof of their authenticity, and uses that to build a deeply loyal, financially supportive audience.
Which brings us to our final point, and really the larger concern here. We've just seen how violent rhetoric, geopolitical conflicts, AI-generated propaganda, and mobile gaming sponsorships are all blended into one continuous, highly profitable stream of content. If this is the new blueprint for alternative media survival, where outrage practically guarantees engagement and demonetization is just another marketing tool, what happens to our shared reality? As this chaotic ecosystem continues to grow, what exactly is the future of objective truth online? It's a massive question, and one we all really need to be thinking about.
Thanks so much for learning with us today, and we'll catch you next time.